absolutely should be. It's a seam on your screen now. He's been one of the bright young stars kind of breaking out this year. I don't know, maybe some consider him underrated considering what he's been able to do, but excited to see because this is another big test for several of the young players on the Faze side of things, but it will be Seaside. We just saw that in our previous series as well. We know how back and forth it can be. That one didn't really prove to be that story, as Royalty had a once a year type performance. Maybe as he was absolutely insane.
Yeah, man, when you look at both of these rosters, if you're going to give Optic probably an advantage, I think it would come from the SOG duo, because I think ICR's, Crim and Zero, you know, two of the best at it, especially Zero. He's continued to get better and better since he went back to this role. Maddox, you have Scraps on one side, you have Dashy on the other. It comes down to that SOG. If TJ continues to play the way that he has, I don't know what Faze is able to do. It's time for a Seam or Zuma to step on up.
So we SOG out for Karma on the opening break. A team kill does come in. Scump, Maddox in hand. As he tries to flush on through, it's going to be 2. Make it 3 for Scump as they get the opening break and they'll get set up inside. Nice gunfight for him, just can't slide away. But back and forth we go. And Dashy, I mean, he's on your screen. Maybe not been the best in any mode, or every mode, but the one where he's really stood out. I mean, his hard points have been, it's almost like you expect double positive out of him when it comes to hard points.
Yeah, just like a 1.5. It's ridiculous. And when you're on his screen, it just makes the game look easy. That's very difficult to do. Like, you watch a stream, whatever it is, it's just say, oh yeah, I can do that. You try to get on and do it, and it's just not possible. The guy puts himself in great positions. That's
what Karma said yesterday after he slid off on the catwalk on Payload. He's like, I watched Dashy do it so many times that that would be all right. But look, there's streaks in the early going for him. Yeah, maybe we said maybe no one could replicate what Royalty did, but he's trying to do his best. It's a hot start and a streak to kick things off. Big lead for Optic Gaming, but now in the courtyard we go as Scump slides to the edge, takes the one-on-one. The trade comes in for Crim6 as well, and they'll get a bit of breathing room here, but we'll get right into an Astro Gaming listen-in with Optic Gaming.
Hold the back, they could be tight, they could be tight.
Yeah, close,
oh,
close.
Fuck, I'm coming.
He's long.
Tiny.
Back. What's going on? Short. Tiny now.
Tiny, watch us. Come back.
That's on first.
Nice, everyone flash.
Push it.
Big first kill, big first kill.
Yeah, hold time.
Oh, he's top mid tank. He's running 10 to you guys. Should be to your right. I'm going first.
Hey,
You guys have any attacks?
One of my cam, yo.
Yeah, I have a stun for window.
They didn't hold. Zero spawn behind you.
Yeah, spawn middle. Yo, hit this quick.
Yo, I have a stun for window. Come here, Teach.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
You're 2 church.
Stun me. He's top.
I have a landing. One more church.
Run away.
Yeah, one's in hill.
Church, yo, he's church right now.
That's you and Secret.
Mid-map, son.
That's one more. Mid-ramp.
You want orange.
I spawn first, yo. Boys in the back, I think.
Statue zero.
Orange dead.
He's holding statue. I spawn first.
Banana, one shot.
Zero's holding the back.
Two banana.
Hey, window.
Yeah, one more orange.
Yeah, window. Leave him in the back.
In orange.
Shouldering him, just shoulder. Helping you mid.
Two orange. I'm close to streets,
I got you.
Yeah, let him.
They ran away. One came out.
Orange
weak. Get that kill.
Nice, good shit.
Zero's dead.
Just point first.
I gave it up.
Yo, me and Porter rotate. It could be 10. Me and Porter rotate.
Go long fast.
250
Yo, 10. Not weak 10.
You hitting it?
One guy could be in the back, Damon.
Yeah, they could be behind.
No, you're good.
Oh, Scump's on 5 in a row. There's 6. An attack 5 in early. This is a bloodbath. 122-7. We were talking about how Faze may play this a bit more competitive, but in the early going, that is not the case. And now a chance for Scump to get some streaks. If he can finish any of these kills, the help comes in. The assist is there, and the lightning strike available now on him and Dashy.
Yeah, Optic even did a great job those first 2 hills, but that third one, when you're at Fountain, that's all on Faze to win that rotation. That third hill can get you back into the game. Instead, it was beautiful teamwork out of Optic. They left Zero in the back for so long. They held on to the hill. Scump was just roaming around inside of Orange. Banana doing a great job, and, well, that's why they have a 110-point lead.
And maybe the worst part about it, you didn't even force the streak out of Dashy, right? You'd think at least if you hold that early, you can get a streak out of Optic Gaming to try and break in, but they weren't able to do that, and then more streaks get involved for Scump. Faze finally starting to put some points on the board. Inside of barrels, but the first rotation, not a lot to love from Faze. Celium just gets away with his life. Playing for these streaks, takes the gunfight. Scump tries to slide in, and now a little bit of an extra tool to the arsenal on the Faze end of things.
There's some momentum right now going the way of Faze's side as they're able to break this rotation. They're going to probably have to force a lightning strike out of Scump. You saw the Hellstorm does come in for Celium. Asim just trying to stay alive. He's on a bit of a spree, just staying up right now as he's on 5. Not that close to streaks, but the Hellstorm in from Celium, but the one-on-one goes the way of Karma. He's going to hold on for Optic.
Yep, and he'll be the last man up. It's now the reinforcements do come in, so they survived that bit of an onslaught
And
from
they're going to
Faze.
have to force the lightning strike as well. This is not good, and he doesn't connect with anything. So if you're Faze and you don't get control, it looks like they will. Karma's the last alive, but you forced a loud out.
Oh, think about the difference. I mean, Dashy still has his lightning that he earned in the opening 40 seconds of the game. The streaks for Faze are almost instant. They have to come out so quickly to try and keep them in this, but when your backs get put against the wall, down 100+ points in the early going, that's the recipe to try and bring it back. 5 seconds remaining, so we'll shift now over to Courtyard. It's a 4-on-3 around the hard point for Optic Gaming, but Zuma able to finesse, get the kill, get away with his life. And now the Tempest does come in. One connection there to get one down. Celium can't hit the second shot. That's 3 kills through for Optic, and they're right back into the hard point.
Yeah, and another huge break. Like, Faze is there on that rotation. Scraps, though, he earned himself a lightning strike. He's on 5 in a row. Not going to connect with anything, but Zero, Celium, they're all starting to find some kills. His Faze starting to heat up. What was a 100-point game after that hill number 3, now just down to 30. And the good thing for Faze, not only are they really cutting this close, but they're finding those streaks as well. Everyone's starting to heat on up.
And Scump's kept it going, but think about Dashy. I mean, he's 11-12. He started out 6-0. So like we were talking about how consistent he's been at hardpoint. These past 3 to 4 minutes, he hasn't really found much at all. So they've at least found a way to neutralize him. They've gotten the TAC 5 out now for FaZe Clan. Scraps is going to go ahead and call in the Hellstorm in transition. Maybe find an opening for Scraps. He tags up Krim in the back, but Krim's actually able to stay alive. So Krim a chance to make a play. There's a streak that comes through for Scump. Scump gets 2, alleviates the pressure off of Krim 6. He can get the trophy in. Now has a one-on-one in the back, and his teammates are in the hard point.
I mean, I guess Flat Jacket saves you from
Yeah, if that Hellstorm kills Krim, I mean, who knows how that goes.
that's just a weak missile, yeah. But yeah, Dashy, he's gonna blow himself up, and Karma. This is gonna allow Faze to get in. Now it's 30 seconds. Faze could actually take the lead here as Zero finds 2. He's on 3 in a row as well.
Dashy's held onto the lightning that long, and that's what he gets out of.
That's not a good streak usage.
Well, we heard the comms from Optic Gaming, but it's Faze with the flurry, bringing it back. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listen-in with FaZe Clan.
Just rotate. Watch out, TJ, close.
Have you got my mid or not?
Nice. Could be mid. Rotate. I got it. Go. Mid. Two. One shot. There's two.
Ever.
Nice. That's one there. I'm gonna help him. I got a trophy, you guys.
Dark. It's Dashy.
Oh, hold on.
Dashy. There's one shot.
Stay alive.
Shoot.
I got pinch.
Dark, one time you have streaks again.
I'm pulling dark. Pinch dead.
Any trophies?
I don't know. We're close to streaks. Somebody's close to streaks.
Pinching. Pinching Dasher.
I'll help you in the pinch. Stay alive.
Nice try.
Watch that. He looked at me. Nice.
Funny church again, Trey.
Slime me. He's weak. Nice. Nice, Joe.
DJ's on me, absolute. Dead.
Nice, one more. Double channel.
Let's go.
Nice, Joe. They're gonna spawn on me.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm here.
Daniel, come.
There's 2, 3.
Let's go.
Tico. Let's go. Two. Stay alive.
No, it's so weak. It's too new.
Everyone calm down. We're good.
Yo, I'm gonna pitch around. Everyone stay alive, alright?
Yeah, pinch.
I'm pitching around.
No
Yo,
streaks.
anyone no streaks? I'm out of one. If you kill again, I'm gonna make this one back down.
TJ's out of weak. TJ.
Rim's mid.
I church. Big stairs.
Nice.
One shot. Two church.
I need you guys to get 1 kill, bro.
Let's go.
I'm one shot. Get it. Yo.
Stood out weak.
Wait.
Stop shooting. No.
They have 200. Green pushed out weak.
Absolutely. Watch out.
Nice man out here. Gonna fight this, I'll rotate.
Fight it. Yeah, fight it. We're coming from mid. Stay alive.
Wait.
Dashy's absolute.
Scump is middle weak. Nice.
2 point.
It's going to be 200 to 195. Now we're getting to the end game. TJ making the play, him and Scump, the Sogs. able to collapse and make sure they get the scrap time. But now on the other side of things, it's Karma just trying to pick a scene, but he's able to stay up, and he'll be the last man up until Scump comes in on the flank. But Scump needs some help. It's going to be Dashy there trying to assist as they're set up here for Courtyard. 2 push that dark alleyway. Can they hold on? A 2-piece from Karma, a 2-piece from Scraps, and a Purifier out from Crim6 as he tries to light it all flame.
Yeah, now Faze has to try to push through this barrels area, and this is exactly what Crim wants. Able to find one, connects with the second, Scraps to his left, but Optic Gaming got a little bit scary. They had 127 points after 3 or 4 hills, and then, I mean, it was just so slow for them. Faze were able to take the lead. They were able to get those streaks, but now Optic just 10 points away from winning map number 1.
They can do it here. There's still 20 seconds left on the hard point. They try to contest. 3 will go down, make it 4 down from Optic. Crim6, the last man up, just trying to get away with his life. He'll be caught. Now you have the rotation for Faze. There's no streaks remaining on Optic Gaming. You can absolutely do this right now if you're Faze Clan, but they had to fight on the other side of this, right? They had to fight to make sure that Optic Gaming couldn't win the game there. Dashy gets him another point, but that's about it. So you spawn safe if you're Faze. You're set up inside the hard point. You got a couple chance to break if you're Optic.
Yeah, you have no specialists on the side of Optic. Faze, they're starting to get close to War Machine and Tempest. Scraps 33 and 19 really stepped it up. We'll see if Optic can break on through behind some great teamwork that we saw in that listening. Crim able to win that first one-on-one, and here comes that push.
They get 3 down. The break is through. Who's left standing is still the close one for Faze Clan. Only 3 points needed for Optic Gaming. Scump will fall. Crim6 now in through window. Can't take the one-on-one. It's Scraps going big yet again. TJ just trying to find the angle. He gets some damage in, but can't close it out. Somebody's got to get in contest. Multiple players spawning out from Optic. War Machine doing damage. 247, 247. Faze Clan do it as they close out the map 1 despite going down 120 early in the game. Wow.
Everyone step up on the side of Faze. Like we heard in that listening, Asim, he started to get some streaks. Celium played well throughout the entire game, but Scraps, I mean, we know the form that he's been in all year long on that Red Reserve team, played so well, and well, he's starting to hit new levels.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't as great of a story when we came out of the listening, but you and I were talking during it at one point, yeah. So they, through 3 hard points, had 120. 4 hard points later, when we were in the Faze listening, we looked at it, and they had, 160 points. So there was a stretch there of like 4 minutes of gameplay and 4 hard points where they only put 40 points up, and Faze went on that tear. It was unreal, but I want to take a look now at the scuff play of the game. I don't know if there's an individual moment. It's just gotta be the finish. It's the final hold it fountain for Faze Clan.
Yeah, and we talked about it. Well, they have to get on in, and you're gonna see Asim. He's gonna grapple through. Zero's able to stay alive with the help of Scraps. Well, it just comes down to this rotation. I think Optic just, well, they knew they had 6 seconds, and they weren't even close to rotating the other side of the map, so they just fight for this scrap time, but Faze held on.
And this was a much scarier situation for Faze than it looked like at first, because you think they have the rotation, but the rotation's great, yes, but they had to make sure that Optic just didn't win the game there at Courtyard.
Yeah, and then it just comes down to this setup. And we did see in that first listening with Optic, the way they were able to break through Faze. It was great teamwork with TJ and Scump, setting up those stuns, able to break the back where they just left Zero. But this time around, they find a couple openers, but with those close spawns, it was just so difficult with Zero specialists. And then Scraps towards the back end of the hill, able to earn his War Machine and put Optic away.
Yeah, I think you see why people have been hyped about this Faze Clan. Like, you feel a lot of times we talk about talent. I know it's not everything, but when you get to the cream of the crop, when you get to the high level, you have to be able to go blow for blow with the likes of Optic Gaming. And we just saw Faze be able to do that. But before we get into map 2, it was Zero that had a chance to talk to Jess.
Thank you, Clint. Yeah, that's right. I did catch up with Zero, and he's feeling a little bit under the weather. Does not look like that is affecting him too badly in game, but he did also tell me that they absolutely are looking for revenge on Optic Gaming after getting 3-0'd by Optic at London. When I asked him, okay, is this the series? Are you going to get that revenge here? He said, let's find out. He said, we're still a new team, we're still learning, and at this point, we're just using the league to do everything we can to get better for future events. So, Clint and Joe, let's see how the rest of the series goes.
Joe, if you had to put a percentage on the number of games that Zero has been sick for during the Pro League, what would that percentage be?
See, I don't like. I think he has like a chronic cough. Like I don't know. He's always coughing.
It's 90%.
I don't know if he's sick or he has like he might have to go to the doctor.
I don't know if you've noticed it at home as much as we have, but it's been like a running joke, kind of in the production room and in the green room, of Zero coughing when he's on camera because it just like there's always something.
So he's sick now, but I'm pretty sure he's always like I think he has a chronic cough.
God. Well, I hope you feel better, buddy.
Me too, but seriously, you should probably talk to someone.
Well, Optic stunned in map 1 after a brilliant start. I mean, Scump and Dashy start out about as great as you can ask for, but Dashy slows down, and as he slows down, you talked about the matchup between, just kind of maybe statistically, between someone like Scraps and somebody like Dashy. Dashy starts strong, slows down. Scraps just goes on a tear throughout the rest of the game.
Scump played great throughout the entire map. You know, no one else really, I don't think anyone else was positive besides him. But yeah, at that point, they probably imagine they just got to play their game behind their streaks. That Dashy streak, you know, ends up finding nothing besides himself.
And the fact he held on to that for
a long time.
5 minutes. Yeah. I mean, he earned that so early on, then you finally use it and you smoke half your team.
Yeah, wasn't the best game won.
Wow, that was a fun map.
Yeah, it was.
That was a fun map 1.
It's why we love Seaside.
247.
It's always quality entertainment.
Ooh, the flick, just a little bit off. Zero gets tagged up to half HP, but able to back down. It's Selim with the first blood. The trade comes in, and TJ narrowly able to dance with death.
Yeah, but you'll see a seam, number 6 on his screen. He pushed up so far in the Optic Gaming base, was able to find a kill on a player on that elbow. So now Optic, they're responding. They're trying to just push on through with their numbers they have on this side of the map now with 3 versus 3.
Yeah, and Zero's yelling, help, help. Like, they're all pushing the back. Scraps gets there, but he ends up getting caught. Zero will still stay up as we're now in a 3v3. And look at TJ, as he's just going to hold this. The rotation comes across. Is he going to find a timing where he can make a play?
He's got to yell. I mean, this is a 3 versus 2 phase. Just, you know, push as fast as possible. Caught the rotation. Still not able to find the kill. Scraps finds one, but here's TJ. Can he be the hero in this 2v2?
A big one-on-one. A big one-on-one. Well, ends up being a 2-on-1 as Karma able to connect on the shots, and now Asim by himself. 20 seconds remaining. Optic still off the plant, and he's got a frag grenade to use. He's got a frag grenade to use. Throws it at his feet. It's going to connect. 1 versus 1 now. 40 seconds on the clock. Doesn't get away. Karma makes him pay. And that's around Optic Gaming.
Yeah, and that's just that's where you want the can right there, right at that mid-tier range. And if that's a Maddox, a bit of a tougher gunfight, I think, for Karma, but you'll see right here where it's just a laser beam at this range. So great play by Karma. That's exactly who you want in that 1 versus 1.
And I think maybe as much as TJ got there to make the play, props to the other 2 Optic Gaming players for staying up as long as they did. I mean, that 3v2, one of them drops a little bit earlier there. They were able to shift focus maybe to top mid, maybe to bottom mid, not able to isolate TJ, but instead.
Maybe they were just worried about his presence, right? You know there's 3 alive, and on your map you see 2. And you're like, where's that 3rd guy? They were a little bit afraid to overcommit, I think Faze was, because they didn't know TJ's position.
Oh, crazy map 1. Followed up by a crazy round 1. Ooh. Dashy survives the hit marker, comes in on the other end. B site control completely to Faze, but they will lose the 1 player kind of watching the push through. That's Zero who ends up falling. I think I heard Krim just kind of yelling, they're on bomb, they're on bomb. They know the position, plant getting down. And now the 5v4 retake. The collapse in from Optic. TJ with another kill. He gets traded out, but so much damage already been done. 1 player left for Faze. That's going to be Zuma.
Yeah, it just starts with them isolating Zero. Just finding him on the flank. They all push through the base of Faze. And well, when you're in that 4 versus 5, you have the nades, you have the stuns. They're able to line them up properly behind Scump, finding 3 kills.
So we know there's been some woes for Faze in Search, and they're working to improve there. When your history as a pro player, when you have a new team coming together, what's the best way to maybe improve in something like Search?
More reps. I mean, it's so simple.
This is like their only reps is what's so tough about it sometimes.
And I think that's to what Zero's talking about. Like, when he's talking to Jess, we're still figuring this out. Like, we're going to be a great respawn team just due to the talent that they have. But Search and Destroy, while they have the pieces, can they put it together?
Wow. Yeah. He had what, 10 HP? That was some range there with the SOG. Scump, a big round too, and he had a hell of a map 1 despite the loss.
See, he's beaming right now.
It's like, that's a SOG?
Yeah.
Scump behind that round now, 260 off his streak, so he's going to have the bomb. He finds a kill on a plant. Gets very close.
Look at this push from Faze. 5-man pushing through this B site. Karma, he's towards the back, not able to find one, but he's going to find 3 players. 1 HP. He had 1 HP in a dream, able to get out alive. He does have some health now. Dashy, Karma, Crim set up a trap. They're going to find 3 kills. Beautiful help from Optic.
Yeah, it's like, I like the push out of Faze. If you get Karma, that goes differently. 1 HP, it's just one of those things that maybe a little bit of luck on the side of Optic. Well played by Karma to react and slide out of that as quickly as he did, but they almost got him. They almost got him.
Yeah, and then he just gets in the position. He knows they're coming. They push through the lobby, but he had Dashy. He had Crim as well, just hitting that wall bang.
Yeah, between Scump and the long-range SOG shots and Karma surviving with 1 HP, it's a little bit of magic for Optic right now. Once again, aggression out of FaZe Clan as they're bringing a 5-man stack to A. Can they catch Crim? The rotation comes in towards top window. He's able to get a kill. TJ there then wins his one-on-one. Scraps does manage to get a kill, but he's in trouble. That cluster's going to hit him in the cheekbone. Zero now by himself. Still players close to streaks on Optic as the search may be going the way you expected it might.
Yeah, Optic even just taking control, just very prepared right now for what FaZe is throwing at them. Great teamwork once again out of TJ and Crim. Just finding that first kill. Straps was here, finds it, but yeah, that cluster right on that wall. And I think it was Celium who went in for a 1 versus 1. Doesn't win it, and that's what really changes the round.
And I don't hate it from FaZe in the sense of, like, if you're worried about maybe mid-round decision-making or playing slow with where you're at in search, just fly, but just not going their way.
Yeah, a lot of the times we'll see teams who lose the first couple of rounds and just completely slow down, give up map control. They're still playing with pace.
They're also playing with a couple of goose eggs. Zuma and Zero still looking for their first kills in this map too. Scraps given the shot. Karma backs him down with the KN. Some nice shots from him. Oh, he gets caught. Trying to decide between the snipe and the cluster. Maybe a little bit too wide a peak. And another first blood to Optic, but it will be to a 4v4. Scump is still working on these streaks. 135 off. We'll get even closer after the plant, but he can't get it. Celium able to wide peek. The angle not watched by Optic Gaming. He's going to get shut down in a round that looked to be in favor of Optic if they get to the post plant of 4v4.
Oh, he's not going to check that player. Doesn't expect 2 to be there. But Karma now in a 1 versus 2 is going to find Zuma. Now he has the streaks as well. We'll see if he uses 1.
He's 8-0, Joe.
Yeah, he knows Celium's back there. Yeah, he's going to ping it. This is going to allow him to plant this bomb.
Oh, you better hurry. You better
hurry. A little cautious. This is where Celium found Scump as well. Well, I hear Crim giving the call out. Karma able to stay alive.
He stays up, and then he guts him. Karma! Clutch once again. And now 9-0. And Celium's like, well, I thought I had him.
Yeah, I mean, this is the position that we saw Karma get into when he won the one-on-one against Scraps, just to open this roundup. Gets right behind the generator, and yeah, I mean, it's a tough gunfight. Looks like Celium actually ran out of ammo as well. So he missed a lot of bullets.
Well, yeah, I mean, you saw the POV from him. Like, once Karma hit that slide behind the bomb, he just had no angle to hit the shots. And you'll take, once it's a straight-up one-on-one, where he's got cover in a can.
And remember, I think in London, I remember it now. Remember, it was Celium who really had an off series. And we talked about sort of that big stage pressure for the first time against Optic. Had a good game 1, though. But still, a play he absolutely wants back.
Okay, a bit ambitious from Scraps after you get the first 2 kills.
A little overconfident. Karma 9-0, still hasn't gone down and has those streaks. Crim's going to make this a 3 versus 3.
Zuma picks up Scrap Sniper, then hits the shot. Frag grenade headed Crim6's way. I think he lives through that. Gets hit hard, but stays up. This is still winnable for Optic, considering you have the streaks on Karma. And you've got to still work this plan. Now a 2v2. Karma hits the shots. He hits them again. Now to 11-0. Rips him out of the window for the 3. What a performance from Karma. And what a search and destroy from Optic Gaming.
12-0 with that KN. Just making it look easy right now.
That is a performance. One's weak, but this isn't the easiest of fights. But Zero, sorry, pal. Karma's on one right now. Survives with 14 HP. And we've seen some incredible individual games between Royalty and the Hardpoint.
What's going on today?
What did he end up, 12-0, 13-0?
12-0.
12-0. Whew. That is some special stuff. And after a gut-wrenching loss in the game 1, Optic Gaming, a resounding answer in the game 2. They just sprint through the side of Faze to tie the series up at 1 apiece. Control up next. We'll be right back.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL, Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL, and Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Level up the game.
A neck-and-neck map 1 win for Faze is followed by the frequency massacre on Search and Destroy as Optic just have their way with them in game 2. Series will now be tied as we head to the control. But wow, we've already had some incredible moments already in this series, Joe.
Yeah, we have. I mean, the way Game 1 started out, I thought it was going to be like map number 2, where Optic were just going to run away with it. But a couple of great individual plays from Faze allow them to earn some streaks, close out that crazy Game 1 comeback. But we're headed to Arsenal Control, and yeah, you heard the devs talk about it. For Optic Gaming, I think there's a reason for this. They know down the line they're probably going to have to play 100 Thieves or Luminosity, some of these teams on Arsenal Control.
And last time they played 100 Thieves, it was not the best result if you take a look back at the winners bracket final. So yeah, working on it, trying to improve it. They'll be on defense in the opening round. Offensively, Faze look like they're bringing everything to B. Crim6 immediately backs it up, looking for information, gets a lot of damage in. A lot of damage in. 3 players hit to half HP.
I mean, I'm even surprised he didn't go down. Like, he kept challenging through that, which allows Dashy to find a couple of kills, and he's still alive in the back. You gotta heal. It doesn't worry about it. Still able to win the gunfight on 0.
18 HP, don't
fine. Yeah, whatever. Go with it.
And Karma, he's feeling very confident with the KN. I just briefly touched base with him after that win. He's like, I got the KN in my house, stand out in the open, rip
he
people.
Goes, I don't know if it's nerves or what, but I just challenged people on frequency window just out in the open. I said, okay. That sounds like something Damon would say, yeah. All right.
4 do go down, though, for Optic. So the A zone currently being captured by Faze. Everybody coming off spawn now for Optic. Scump looking to be the entry man as they build up this push to break back in. Second tick now very close, and that will come through for Faze. Optic are going to try and bounce. I think it was grapple from Karma. He catches a cluster maybe on the way in, so they're going to go ahead and now give that up and have to shift focus completely over to that B site. Lives just about square.
Dashy has a lot of map position, so does the rest of Opti as TJ starting to get pushed up towards lights. Good job by Faze, though. At least trade that kill out. Scump now is going to have 3 players pushing towards this gun side, just going to play around information. He's going to spot 2. Celium's going to be the last one, but you like this play from Scump. Has the help of Karma as well.
Gets a ton of information to throw back to Scump and TJ in their back line. Scraps gets an opening pick. Asim wins a gunfight. He had no right winning as he peels Scump off a cover. And now you've got a really good chance to not only put pressure on the spawn of Optic Gaming, but also work a collapse. And look at this. You're trying to just get off spawn right now if you're Karma and Scump, and you can't get out of there. You just keep getting picked off. Asim tries to snap. TJ makes him pay, but then you have another player up. Celium and Zuma still have a presence towards this Optic spawn. They haven't got onto the point yet, but they've started to slowly accrue this lives advantage.
Yeah, this has really just been a change of map position. This has allowed the players off spawn for Faze to just get pushed up, find that one player on B. So they don't find a lot of spawn kills, but they slow down the push of Optic Gaming. And Asim, he's going to come off spawn, able to find 2 kills. That's 4 dead for Optic. Make it 5 as 0 finds 2 as well. 2 ticks about to come in, and Optic, with 5 lives remaining, has to try to make one last miracle push.
Yeah, I mean, the grapple's going to help them at least get in to try and go ahead and contest, but there's still a massive presence from Faze Clan. Celium still the one standing tall inside. The contest does come in. 1 drops. Dashy the last man up. Celium shuts down round 1. And that's really just all off what their 3-man push they had gunside that led to way more than maybe it had any right doing. And if you go back, it was the Asim gunfight on Scump.
I was gonna say.
If Scump wins that gunfight, it's hard to imagine how it plays out, but he's got to win that one.
Well, that forces, basically, because there's 2 players on the flank. There was somebody with this team. I think it was Scraps at the time, won a gunfight as well on the TJ. But what those 2 did, they just pushed into the base. They sort of staggered it. They allowed their teammates to push up, right? Because the Optic Gaming members are just staying on the point. Because they're just waiting for these guys to come off spawn. So basically what it does is just slows down that push, gives them map control. If that goes the way of Optic, as soon as they get those kills, they're moving up, right? They're putting pressure on the Optic Gaming base. That doesn't happen, and it's the opposite where Faze can get control of B.
And just a frustrating round for Optic and Scump in general. I mean, he has that gunfight. He's also 2 and 7, so it's not what you'd like defensively to kick things off. Scraps, he's finding the kills early in this defensively. It's a cluster combo with the Maddox. Gives a little bit of position for Asim to now move up. It's a 2-pronged attack as they fly at the front line of Optic Gaming. They're already up 4 lives. There's only been 1 kill through for Optic. Finally, Karma gets 1. They just bring it a little bit closer to even.
Yeah, they're at least able to get a couple bodies on A. Faze have 3 down coming off spawn. That's a War Machine invested by Scraps. We'll see if he's able to find anything. Just Flak Jacket. And, well, it looks like they might have to give up on A. As Crim's already towards his B side. Scump continues it as well. Here comes that transition point. Can Optic go from A to B with the swiftness, able to get those two points back to back?
Well, the good point is, yeah, you're working on A, and you also, well, I was going to say you had lobby control for a moment, but Faze gets back in. So Faze, a good job answering. They're going to lose the point, but in a position to still hold. But as Crim6 wins his one-on-one outer, that opens up this B street. Another one-on-one. Crim goes big, TJ goes big, and now that creates the collapse because now you can collide in. TJ starts to come soaring in. The focus shifts to him, which is an opening for Dashy to find 2 kills. They're now into the B zone with 3 players up.
Nice stun out of Dashy. I'll just slow down that push. And Walt Faze hoping to wait for Zero to come off spawn, but they have to go. This is going to be the second tick in. Here comes that push. Celium going to fly on through, able to find the first gunfight. Zero able to stay alive, found 2, somehow still up, but it's going to be Scump's 3rd kill, maybe. Zero still alive, just buying enough time, and his team's here now. His team's here. What a play from Zero.
Yeah, he drops there. That's game. Yeah. That is more than likely game. They didn't need much more on that 3rd pick, but he's able to finesse and take that one-on-one. What a moment. And yeah, you're down 5 lives, but at least you've got a prayer in this round.
I gotta start talking about Zero's out 5 in a row, 325 away from Streaks. Challenge is Crim. Crim's got the ICR, though. We're gonna win that one. Still a 5-life advantage. Crim finds his 2nd. This should be the round now. And if you're Optic, you don't have to play around the point. You can just play around kills because you're up so many.
And Crim6, I think, has been huge in this offense. Like, he has dominated the ICR war. We're just finding the openings to allow his Maddox players, his sub players to get up. He's been sensational from that regard, really just taking out the ICR on the other end of things. Those are big kills. 2 players in, or down, Optic in. And we'll be tied up 1-1. So far, both teams getting it done offensively.
Yeah, and this reminds me, I think it was Gen G Optic early in the week where they played Arsenal Control. I'm pretty sure it was 5 offensive round wins in that Arsenal Control. Went all the way to round 5. And it was 5 offense wins. We don't see that very often. Usually Arsenal, very defense heavy due to the map pressure, but maybe teams are just starting to figure it out, figure out what they need to do on their offensive pushes, because very similar to that. That's, you know, two offensive round wins in a row.
Zero almost did enough. Gave him a chance. They couldn't quite close it out, though. So now Faze back to offense. They were brilliant the first time through. Great game from Scraps in the respawns. He's 16-10. He had the monster performance in the game 1, somewhere around, what, 33, 34, and 20. Attack 5, though, in the early going from Optic Gaming. You see Dashy has Tempest ready to go as well. Karma wins that one-on-one. And that shot will connect. Zero, they're both down. It doesn't chain to get the finish, so he should get back up. I don't think he has tack, but what a shot that is. As he just finishes around the edge. Finally gets stuck between 2 players, but does enough to get them into the zone.
I mean, somehow Faze still has mid-map control. Like, even after those nice shots from Dashy, you still have Scraps inside of A. Has the help of Zero and Celium now. I thought that should have been all Optic after Dashy hit those Tempest shots. But a couple of Faze players able to stay alive. They're starting to make their progress towards A, and Optic now on the retake.
Second tick about to be in. There, they'll complete. That just one more needed, and if you're Optic, yeah, you absolutely just have to give this up. You're down in lives already. Can't throw anything additional away at it. They don't have a presence inside the lobby as of now. Karma, highlighting the minimap, is kind of watching the guns push. Nobody taking that route as of now. This is a big moment. What can Faze do from lobby? Well, they can run into the grab slam of Karma.
It's funny because I think Asim was trying to set up the same thing on the other side of the door. I think he saw both of those players, and when you saw Karma do it, he was just a little bit quicker on the triggers. He's able to find those kills, but I think Asim had the same idea. He'll probably go right back to it, trying to force his way through that lobby.
All square in the lives department. Pushed up mid-map is Crim6. He's all the way to kitchen side. He does end up dropping, and now a chance to pounce if you're Faze Clan. Obviously, you've got that closer defensive spawn. If you're Optic, you can reinforce this quickly, but you've gotten pushed up through mid-map. And you talked about it, maybe wanting to set it up. Well, you know where it's hard to set it up when you got a stun to your face, so that'll be one more spawn for Asim to
Well, and
try
I
and make
think
it work.
Optic know as well, right? Like, he's going to that position as the Ruin character for a reason, so they're both playing behind the doors, making sure if he is going to hit it, he's going to hit once. Selling him now, it's his turn to pull out the Tempest, able to find one, finds the second on the Karma as well. Dashy trying to stay alive inside event, not able to do so as Zuma trades that kill.
But now you get Celium to a power position here on Statue. Clears one off back steps. Tac 5 comes in. This could be a massive Tac 5. The movement wasn't there. He tried to slide around the edge, but ends up bumping into the Statue. So 2 drop as Optic can once again retain control defensively.
And now 30 seconds left. If you're Faze, you have to somehow try to get in, and it's probably behind the seam in this grab slam. We'll see what he can find. Still doesn't have Tac Mass, has Flak instead. You can see just the way they're playing. Look how spread they are by both of those doors, not giving him an angle.
Well, that's
push on up.
That's 90 straight seconds probably of Asim trying to set up a grab slam.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because Scraps finds 2. Now Dashy trying to stay alive, waiting for his teammates to come off spawn. All of Faze gonna stack this point in 9 versus 5. And yeah, now this is trouble for Optic because they have to come through here. There's finally the grab slam he's been trying to set up, finds the 3rd kill as well. It works out, he gets it.
Finally, trying to do it the whole damn round.
Yeah, the whole round.
And it ends up being the best play.
Well, they finally set up in a position where Optic had to come towards him, right? It was always just him trying to force his way through.
Another offensive victory. Big win there from Faze. Now put the pressure back to Optic Gaming. Specialist-wise, what, Scraps close to another War Machine, Krim getting close to Vision Pulse. That's about it on the Optic side. You're not really working towards much of anything else. Same can be said, though. I mean, Scraps is really the lone man that's close to progression.
And I think for Optic, I don't know what happened at the beginning of that round with selling, or, you know, after Dashy hits those Tempest shots. I'm not sure how Faze stayed alive or who lost a couple of gunfights, but to me, that's like, could have been the round, because if you're Optic, you win that break off, you get so much map position. Instead, it was time extended for Faze, and, you know, they had the life advantage as well.
Karma gets 2. Gets into A. Crim6 doing damage on the other end of things. And Scraps has this one-on-one, but he's so close to Streaks, and he's going to get caught. So now you have to make a decision if you're Faze. Where do you opt to go to try and get in? That's not going to be a fun gunfight for Crim6. Asim off the top rope, able to make the play, at least get clearance on B. But Optic's going for this. They want to get B. They want to get it done. They've shifted all their focus off A, and they've got set up inside. Scump and Dashy really getting it done. Halfway now to the second point. 3 players coming in. It's Karma with the streak. It picks up Dashy, but it does get 2 on the backside of steps from FaZe Clan. But after it's all said and done, it's really Scumpy just left alone in there. Can he get the second tick? Can he get, it got contested the last sliver.
Now, you have a 5-life lead, but the clock is against you right now if you're Optic. We'll see if FaZe can contest this at all. They had to win one, maybe 2 fights. As well, TJ does have the lightning strike as well. Dashy having a great game at 21-14, but here we go. They're going to try and retake this. Scraps and Zuma, they find the kills that they need. They just have to get these players off. Asim gonna fly on in, just 1 guy left, and now you have to be worried about the clock if you're Optic Gaming. That lead gone.
They only need 1 point on either side. Well, no, the B, I thought that's right, they didn't finish B. It was a sliver away, so excuse me, they still need to get both on B. 25 seconds now to work with. Scraps continues to win one-on-ones. The fact that they get 2 kills out there in that situation works out great, but Optic, they still have a 1-life advantage. Nice stun from Zuma to back him up, give him a little bit of ground to work with. TJ can't take the gunfight with Karma.
TJ might use the lightning strike here, maybe to close this round out. You're in a 5 versus 4. I think you do it if you're TJ. Maybe just play your life. You cannot get picked. You're in a 1 versus 2 right now. FaZe, if they isolate him out, they are going to do it. There's no lightning strike. So still a 3 versus 4 in man advantage, but that's a scary situation for TJ. Maybe you back on up, play a little bit slower.
Well, he won't be spawning back in, so no opportunity to use it. Now you've got 60 seconds on the clock and a 4v3. This first gunfight, huge. Celium spotted 3, and he's going to back it up immediately Asim though. Asim's trying to make a play. Asim tries to make a play. Can't win the gunfight now. Just 2 lives left for FaZe. Scraps and Celium have got to clutch.
It's a War Machine.
Scraps used it.
Scraps, he's using it. Yeah, he's going to try to win this game. 35 and 17
got
for
2.
Scraps.
He got 2.
He hits Crim as well.
Now it's all on Crim6 to make the play. This has been his haven. This outer B street, he's been winning his one-on-ones, but now he's got to win the one-on-2. Knows both players' positions with 20 seconds to work with. You've only got 3 bullets in the clip. He's only got 3 in the clip. There's nothing he can do. He's got a Maddox, so he picks up to make a play. Can't snap. And it's FaZe. FaZe to take the control. It was all offense early, but it's a late defense in a 2v4. The War Machine from Scraps connects.
I mean, that's just, yeah, he was 33 and 17 at that point. I mean, having a huge game. You have War Machine in a 2 versus 4. Whatever, it worked, right? Like, I don't think that's the best play.
When I heard it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were going for it. If one of those Optic players has flag, maybe that's a little bit different, but he knows.
You love the confidence, though.
Yeah, it just sort of throws them off. But I think for Optic, you look at maybe that TJ play, right? Just like getting caught out when you have the lightning strike, because the lightning secures round 5. That's all it does for you. It gets you to that round 5. Instead, he gets caught out, and now it's a 3 versus 4, and it's not like it's not winnable for FaZe.
Think about the difference in those 2 calls. The call not to use the lightning to secure the win, and then the call from Scraps to use a War Machine in a 2v4 to go for the jugular.
Well, and I don't even know if there's a call not to use the lightning. The call is, where am I on the map?
That's true.
Like, you need to stay alive if you're TJ. Bit of a blunder there, but I mean, you had the advantage. Scraps just pulls out the War Machine.
And we'll see it from his POV when we swap in just a moment. But so much damage done. Dashy, Scump, they both drop to it. The last nade, I think, hits Crim6 as well. And then you can see he just has no ammo to work with, has to try and find some other tool to use.
I think, too, you even dissect this round more if you're Optic, you go back and watch this. Because this is the round where they tried to hit both points, right? Where, like, they had a great break off, then they sent a couple towards that B side. I think on a map like Arsenal, you cap 1 and extend the time, because the time was a big factor for Optic Gaming. They were up 16 to 11 in the life count, but they didn't cap either point. FaZe got that map control, made it a 10 versus 9. I think if you're Optic, you don't do that split push. You have the streak on TJ.
Just keep the life advantage, secure one.
Secure A, keep the life advantage, extend the time. If you get desperate at B, you use the lightning strike there. Just a bit of a blunder. I think that's one where, you know, we talk about Optic Gaming's improvements and how they want to improve Arsenal control. I think this is when you definitely go back and watch.
Yeah, and a big moment from FaZe just to make sure what that second tick didn't come in from B as well as they slid in. Wow. Well, FaZe, now a chance to close this out 3-1 on the Arsenal hardpoint. Stunned Optic in that map 1.
I mean, I think that's another stunner, right? Like, at least, yeah. I mean, the fact that doesn't go around 5.
And I think my eyes are on Scraps.
Yeah.
He's been, I mean, in the 2 respawns, he's been absurd.
Double positive in both, like 34 and 17. And
not many people do that against a team like Optic Gaming.
No.
And we'll go right to his POV. It's him, Asim, trying to wreak havoc in the early going. Scraps is tagged up, fragged up. As he'll finally drop, and the early setup goes to Optic. TJ trying to apply pressure to the spawn almost instantly as he's feeling himself. Takes the one-on-one with Scraps, ends up with 2 kills in a row. Doesn't hit the reload though. He was in trouble regardless of that.
You can see what FaZe is doing. They're just focusing on that rotation. They're going to give up 45 seconds. A great start for Optic. We'll see now if FaZe can respond. You have Zero all the way pushed up towards the front. You have Zuma all the way in the back as well. Crim able to find one on the opener. But that's a big play by TJ to stay alive. Great job by him and Scump to find that kill in the back. You can see where they spawn out all the way near that statue hill. This could get a little bit scary if Asim can hang on, because now that's 2 hills in a row where Optic's going to have control.
I mean, he was getting swarmed. there was not a lot that he could do, but there's 3 in a row for FaZe Clan and a chance to pounce. what a quick clearance that is. They get right back into the hard point. The early setup from Optic Gaming just cracked in half. That's a brilliant break from FaZe Clan. And they find the kills to follow it up as well.
Yeah, and they're going to spawn a couple players out, actually. You're going to see Karma and Dashi on the opposite side of the map. The good thing for them, though, TJ finds 2. Crim with another one on rotation, though, so that's going to be all dead on that rotation. So Optic should get the setup that they want. You're going to see Dashi all the way near that office, just cutting off the rotation towards the front.
Swap quickly over to Scump's POV. One-on-one with Zuma. Opsy used the stun, able to connect, pushes behind it. Nice play from Scump. Now, can they hold this opening setup? So far, so good. That cluster at least going to slow down or split the push of FaZe Clan.
That did a ton of damage on 3. Backed them on up.
Yep, just makes it all the more difficult. Nice positioning from Scump once again to make a play. Just make sure they can't have that 5-man hit. Scump has been so annoying. Just make sure they can't really get that pinch attack they want to develop.
Yeah, he's been watching the flank. He's been taking care of lobby as well.
Got another one-on-one.
The rest of his teammates can just watch the front. He does trade the kill.
So he gets 3 kills to really make sure that flank never gets opened up.
TJ on 4 in a row as well as we rotate on over towards guns. Karma's going to find one with that ICR. The rest of FaZe is here, though, so trades going to go in their favor.
TJ was working his way towards streaks, but nothing else he can do as of now. The pinch is here. Scump connects. Him and Dashi clear out 2. Karma snaps onto the other side. That's 3 down now for FaZe Clan. Hey, Scott, think about if they didn't get broken. If they didn't get broken that previous hardpoint, I mean, you'd be looking at like a
Be similar to map 1.
Oh, yeah, 140 to 30 type game, if not more.
Yeah, if not more. Yeah, I mean, this has been, and really, Scump's this hardpoint with a SOG. Arsenal hardpoint is not easy with a SOG. You can get caught in a lot of tough situations, but he's been playing it brilliantly. So he's at 11 and 4 now.
I just think I don't know, I've liked his patience so far on this map. I mean, I know he's been aggressive when he needs to, but he's had some really nice patience, just playing his corners, playing sneaky at times when he needs to, and it might reward him with streaks.
Well, he's at that 5, yeah, he's into those streaks.
Oh, there's the lightning. Up 100. Well, they were up 100 in the map 1, though. This wouldn't be the first time they've seen this lead, but we're also no longer on C side. We've seen some comebacks on a map like Arsenal, but just not nearly as common.
Yeah, and you feel like streaks on Arsenal are a lot harder to mess up than those on C-side, right? Like sometimes on C-side, just due to the cover and, well, where things can just get a little chaotic, they're much easier to handle to break those hills, especially, you know, number 2 and number 3, where it's wide out in the open.
Well, we said our eyes would be on Scraps, but it's the guy feeling a little bit under the weather that's not showing up right now. 0, 3, and 12, quadruple positive.
Scraps and Asim are playing fine. The other 3 just hardly.
Well, yeah, I mean, Celium triple neg, 0 quadruple neg. I don't know if they both have to heat up, but one of them has to, because this is just getting uglier and uglier. I think Optic might be a little bit pissed about the game 1, the game 3. Well, just think about this. If Optic continue this, like the 2 maps Optic have won have been destructions. Yeah. I mean, it's what, 6-0? And now you're looking at a potential 100-point club if they keep it going. Grim6 lines it up. The tray comes through from Scraps, though. Still have 45 seconds on the central hardpoint. Hey, I think you're right. It's likely too little too late, but if the comeback's going to start, let's do it here. First hardpoint.
Well, it's going to be one of those streaks going to come in. And is he going to use it here? He is going to call it in. We'll see what he's able to find. Those players probably going to go into a lobby. And that's what I was saying. I'm actually surprised he used it there, because I just think
better places to use it.
I think the next hill in the statue hill, it's easy. It's very hard to mess those up because they're so wide in the open. And now you don't have that streak in Celium. He's 10
so Scraps. What was he, like 100 off? So you've got 2 players with a chance to get streaks. Not again. Not again.
We'll see what happens. Talked about people starting to heat on up, and it was Scraps, it was Celium.
They got 2 lightnings. You'd love to have a pair of Hellstorms to go with that, but it'll just be the Lightning for now. But still about 100-point advantage for Optic Gaming.
Found the kills. Now it's time to use those Lightning strikes. Yep, they're going to call it on in. Scump, is going to respond with the Hellstorm to stop this push. 3. Scraps is able to find 3. The last player is Dashi on the backside. Nobody in the hill right now because streaks on both sides. The good thing for Optic, Celium's using his as well. So no more streaks as he finds 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one's his teammate. Well, sorry, one's himself, but they get, what, 6 total kills in the Optic?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, when you use a lightning, the outside ones,
it works. It works.
Yeah.
It certainly works a little bit better than that Hellstorm we saw from Scump, that's for sure. But even though you use all of that, you don't cut into the lead that much. I mean, yes, you brought it back a little bit more respectable than it once was. But you still have a ton of work to do. Nice job by Scraps. Asim locked and loaded the next hardpoint. He has a grab slam, which he may try to set up.
Yeah, Optic's got every specialist to use besides the attack 5 boost. Crim's very close to Vision Pulse, but everything they need, they have a lot of tools to work with.
I think, yeah, the only way Faze come back in this is maybe a couple specialist blunders from the Optic end. A couple specialist blunders. And that might be how you do it, but so far, the hold is good from Faze Clan. Scraps and Asim just lining them up right now.
There's Dashy. Dashy, Karma, they're both going to use their specialist to find a couple of kills. That player in Vent, he got hit by the Tempest. Zero still alive, trying to contest, but that's going to be 20 seconds. Then I don't think Faze is going to be able to contest.
Yeah,
you can't contest whatsoever.
You'd love to try, but where they're spawning out in the position on the map from Optic
Vision
Gaming.
Pulse as well, which is going to allow them to fight on this rotation with an advantage.
Going the long way around at number 6. It's Karma going the whole way around, but unfortunately both of his teammates die on the other side, so where you thought you might have an opening in a flank, not nearly as big of an opening now, but the TAC 5 is in for the side of Faze. War Machine comes in from Scraps as well. 9 more points needed from Optic Gaming. The shots come through the War Machine, and he will end up dropping. And still a player in Scump remaining inside the window, and for his 2-piece, he gets rewarded with a lightning strike from his buddy Crim6.
Yeah, cluster in. Asim does have grab, able to connect with 2. So Faze still just hanging on. They find a couple of more kills, and they're going to spawn Optic out. We'll see what does Optic decide to do. Are you going to fight for this scrap time, Crim? He's going to call in the Hellstorm, run him right into the window where Dashy's going to find a couple of kills, and that should be it behind the streaks of Crim.
It should. It should, and they're the last player will drop. No one else in a position to contest it. Optic Gaming. They close it out. They get another massive lead in the hard point. This time, though, able to lock it down and get us to a 5th and final map.
See, Men and Chance aren't here, so we get rewarded with the game 5 still.
Yeah. What a series this has been. A back and forth battle as both squads will talk it over and try to set up for the final search and destroy. I believe we're going to be headed to Hacienda. Who do you favor in it quickly, Joe?
Optic.
Optic.
Based off what we saw in map 2.
That's easy to say. It was a 6-0, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a 6-0, but map 5 is a different breed. Tweet the stream. Don't go anywhere. Optic, Faze Clan, map 5, next. It's game 5 time, Joe. Back-to-back game 5s. We're having a blast here at the CWL.
Yeah, and I actually figured, I thought Ben and Chance had off today. I thought it was Miles Momo. Ben and Chance are here, so we're going to have 4 game 5s.
Oh, yeah,
today.
yeah, that's most likely the outcome.
We'll have 4 game 5s.
For this search and destroy, I mean, game 2 was a 6-0. Karma is yet to die in a search and destroy in this series as he has a perfect 12-0 performance. Hard to imagine him continuing that into a game 5, but if anybody can do it, maybe it's him. Any lessons learned from Faze in game 2 to maybe take into this?
Well, I think the one good thing for Faze is they 3-0'd LG yesterday. The S&D they won was Hacienda.
Okay,
so
all right. That's
maybe, they took some positives from that. This is one of their, maps that they worked on. So, I mean, if you're a Faze fan, don't lose hope because they were able to win it yesterday.
Well, I mean, I think already to this point, if you're a Faze fan, you got to like how much more of a battle this was compared to what you saw in London. There's definitely improvements being made, and Scraps is also insane. He's very, very talented at this game. Karma with the first blood, unfortunately, on the wrong side of things, as he's going to kill TJ with the ICR, so it's quickly a 5v3 in favor of Faze Clan.
See, Scump was able to spot that player that went bottom bar. Got a little bit scrappy, but able to find the kill. So 3 versus 4 now, but bomb planted towards this A site. Well, it's so tough to push this connector. Yeah, all Celium's doing, just sliding back and forth, just playing for that information. Scump's going to challenge the gunfight, gets taken down. So now with 30 seconds to work with, Dashy's just hoping Crim can find something to open things up.
And they're just sliding back and forth, playing it so well, just doing their best to be annoying.
They just fly.
As soon as he comes across, Crim's win the one-on-one, but that should be traded out nearly instantly. Asim slides back in for Dashy. And Faze, for the first time in this series, get a round win in Search and Destroy.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I'm looking at this series, map 1 Seaside, I imagine that was Faze's pick. And 2 and 4 were Optic, so this should be Faze's.
Yep. Yeah, I would hope you're not getting 6-0'd on your map pick.
No.
Think you nailed it on the head there. All right, so
you'd probably change that after.
Well, Krem6, who we know has dominated the murky waters of Hacienda. Looks like Zero will be his challenger. As you see at number 6, he's way out in the lake. Spotted by Zero.
He has cold-blooded on as well, so Zero with some eagle eyes. I don't know how he saw him. Trades, though. Makes it a 4 versus 4. See him just playing for position. Going to slide the bomb, but Crim able to find a pick.
Dashy connects on the frag as well. So now it's just Asim and Scraps, the last 2 up. And I like this rotation. Can Asim get a lucky timing? Can he get a lucky timing? But there's one more behind him, unfortunately. So close to getting behind the entire enemy line. Maybe getting 2 before he drops. I kind of like the attempted play considering the scenario you're in a 2v4. But Scraps will drop, tied up 1-1. Crim gets the kill out in water, almost followed immediately by Dashy's grenade, and that's where things really tilted in the favor of Optic Gaming.
Yeah, great round from Crim there with that ICR, able to find a couple of picks. Karma as well with that double ICR setup. Remember in round 1, Karma was able to find 1. It just happened to be TJ.
Yeah. So the KN put away for now. Just his tool of destruction, at least on frequency. A little bit longer range with regards to the gunfights here, so you'll see the ICR out. Crim6 immediately back to his natural habitat. He'll have a one-on-one with Zero out there. Can he win it? Because he might need to, considering Scump has ended up dropping. Slides out through the cluster grenade. TJ hit within an inch of his life, but somehow still stays up. 3v2 advantage. Quickly a 2v2. Crim6 still patrolling out deep, and he's got a lot of information. I mean, if you're Faze, like, where could... Crim6 is still alive. Where could he possibly be? Like, where could he possibly be? Of course he's in the damn lake. Just waiting.
He's a Navy SEAL, dude, so of course he's in there. But I think they heard him actually come up as well, so... They heard that. I think they spotted him as well. Well, they're just going to rotate this bomb towards this A side.
Nice rotation. Good job just both getting away with their lives. Now it's the ICR duo. And Crim and Karma will have to make the play. Crim6 is going to get caught almost instantly. Karma, he's had a couple clutches, but this is not an easy one based on positioning. But he won what? A 1v2, a 1v1 in the game 2? A chance to be the hero yet again, but time is dwindling.
And they're just not going to give him anything. Celium's just going to keep shouldering this. Zero's watching his cross as well. What do you know? Just peeking back and forth, not giving him a shot. And there we go. They're both going to peek at the same time.
Very well played. Very well played.
But that round just changes for Celium. I mean, he finds those 2 kills. Able to find the first one on TJ, which was a trade. But I'm not sure who came through that middle door. We'll see it right here. So it was a 3 versus 2, but he's able to make it a 2 versus 2. Just hits the melee, and then this little jump shot on the dash, he was just beautiful.
It's a huge one-on-one because what TJ got 2 right before that after he slid out. I thought that was all Optic needed, but what an answer from Celium. I think more than likely he's trying to slide out there. Just ends up crouching instead, ends up costing him. Four players here for Faze. Really 1 deep, still going to be 0.
And Optic's just waiting for the rotation. And they've played it perfectly because they all get off. There's 1 player still there spotting it. That's going to be a seam. But he doesn't have help. This is the way FaZe has been playing their defense. Been sending 4 towards A, just keeping 1 to B and early rotating if they don't see anything. So Optic just going to take that information, and now they have complete A site control with bomb being planted.
Bomb down, 5v5 post plant retake, and just peeking from underground is Karma, just making them turn. Makes it so easy for Scump and TJ to then line up 3-5 versus 2, and a wall bang from Karma. And the final kill from Scump, as I believe Scump gets 3 in the round, but Karma's positioning just really, I think, annoyed the hell out of that push from Faze. They're trying to hit him through you.
Scump gets the bomb plant as well. So Scump finds 3 kills plus the bomb plant. He'll be working towards some score streaks, but that just starts with the beginning of the round. I mean, for Faze, I feel like you have to wait for 0 to at least spot somebody before you call that rotation, because they saw absolutely no one. Nobody stays around that fence area. They give up the free bomb.
And I think the issue is just that angle where he's sitting back deep in boathouse. Like, you see water, but like you don't see a lot else if they're hugging the tight wall.
Maybe they're worried that they're pushing top halls, right? Like they don't see anything.
I mean, you have eyes on just about nothing across mid map in that B lane, right? Just got to worry so much about them just flying in from rock. So you mentioned him being close to streaks. It'll be 250 off. Bomb planted now for FaZe Clan. TJ does have a cluster to work with. Maybe the cluster could be huge, and finding
I think you heard a trophy.
Somebody up.
You heard a trophy go down, so I don't. We'll see if there's one up for FaZe. Yep. So can't use the cluster unless they take care of that trophy. A team just playing behind the bomb, but once again, that connector door is just so crazy. TJ does find one with the cluster, but a 2 versus 2. Just playing around the clock right now. 7.5 to defuse. 0, he's gonna find one, and they just run away.
Crim6 hunting, but not a whole lot he can do. Gets the kill, not gonna matter. No time for the defuse. Zuma with the final kill. As we continue this back and forth battle, 3-2 now to FaZe Clan.
I mean, whoever's playing today is won the round, 100%. Like, so how are these defenses either gonna change up their retakes or play around this A side initially? I mean, FaZe even threw a little bit differently where they started off halls and then they all dropped bottom middle and hit connector. So we saw when we were on board with Crim, he was watching top hallway. He wasn't watching fences side. All of Optic have rotated off. So a bit of a meta game going down right now between both of these teams on offense.
Who's going to adapt the best down the stretch? 0, what does he get vision of? Can we hop to his POV? So this is what he was looking at last time when you saw the rotation come in. So he doesn't have a lot of eyes on this.
But look at the difference right now, right? So now they're waiting. They all stayed the first 20 seconds. Now they spot someone, and now the rotation is in. Crim almost gets caught by 0. I mean, 0's not seeing him. Or if he has, I don't know, he's playing a different game than me.
Scump wins a big one-on-one, but it's still advantage now to FaZe Clan. 4 versus 3. But Optic Gaming, they're the ones with the plant. The pressure on FaZe Clan to make the play. They see one come sliding in. Scump gets caught in a very tough place. Now on Crim and Dashy to try and hold the line. Crim gonna get picked. Frag grenade out. Dashy gets pushed. Can't win the gunfight. It's Celium that gets 2 big ones to now push it out to a 4-2 advantage. A little bit of a cushion now for FaZe Clan.
Well, we're gonna have a controller. Say someone's having a controller issue, so you gotta back up for a reason. We're switching. Switches control freak on.
the scramble.
It's a scramble before the next round begins.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right.
We're good. Bang.
Speed of a seam to get it in there.
That's the reason that is. If a controller malfunctions, that's it's you. So you gotta switch it.
Yeah, there's been spots where like people don't have backups. Like, what do you mean? Like, just have one up there with.
Yeah, there we go.
There we saw.
That seems ready.
Live action.
No, but if I'm Optic on my next offense, maybe what you do, throw 1 or 2 towards B. Just have 0 shoot a couple of shots at you and rotate towards that A site. See now, it looks like Optic. I don't think they're going to give up the plant this time. You see 3-4 players, actually all 5. They're going to back on up, and they're going to try and put pressure on this right away from the front. We talked about how they're going to make adjustments. There's the first adjustment from Optic.
At least picking one up off the plant, but a nice wall bang now from 0 to bring it to 4-4. Just continuing trying to get shots through. Scump with a one-on-one mid-map. He's going to back down. The angle is found from Zuma. He does a lot of damage, but doesn't finish both kills. 2 versus 2 now, but just over 20 seconds to work with.
The clock. After this defuse in 20 seconds. So many angles that they could choose from. Celium's going to go out wide. Dashy wins it, and Krim plays it so patiently. Read like a book by Krim. As they're able to clutch the 2 versus 2.
I just kept wondering, like, are they going to hop it? Are they going to hop it and try to make the play? But I think he nailed it. Just read him perfectly. And they clutch up in the 2v2. That's a huge round for Optic Gaming. At risk of going down 5-2 in this, they bring it back. They're sitting down 1 at 3-4.
I mean, that's just such trust on both ends because they both win their one-on-ones. If someone loses it, round's over.
Yep.
They have to defuse the bomb. They probably don't have time to get to it. And it's done. So a great play out of both Krim and Dashy.
And there's so much time that goes by where Faze doesn't have eyes on the bomb.
Yep.
Like, they're thinking maybe they hopped it. So they have to come out soaring. There was like just enough time on the clock that Optic can kind of play with them from that sense. Now, what do Optic opt to do on offense? Looks to be complete mid-map control. And there is nobody home right now from FaZe Clan. They haven't been putting home a lot of pressure towards top halls at all, really, throughout the course of this. They got bomb bottom bar right now.
Yeah, they're trying to cut the rotation off, right? I mean, the way FaZe has been playing it, Dashy wins a big one-on-one.
Then the flank comes through, just getting picked apart. They're just, you haven't seen this look offensively really from either side. And just look at where their position is. You still have got 2 players around bottom and top bar.
Celium can make the play though for FaZe. He's in a very good position. Crim6 is on the flank. We'll see how the timing plays out. He doesn't have that silence on. Yep, Dashy's gonna hear him and finally kill.
Looks like we're gonna have a tie game. Unless a Seaman 0 can do it. Dashy locates another one, 0, the last man up. He'll get right off the map. And where it looked like FaZe Clan had a chance to run away with this game 5, we're all square, Joe. You like that look from Optic on offense?
Yeah, just switching it up. Continue FaZe, just getting them guessing. Where the FaZe side, they just go on A, right? They've just been like, try to retake this in a 5 versus 5. We're okay with this. And it's gone well up until that last offensive round where the 2 versus 2 clutch comes in.
And is this something where it's like FaZe are trying to keep it as simple as possible because where they're at in search and destroy? Now that Optic are starting to throw maybe more complicated looks at them, it's just like, how do they react now?
It's working, right? Like, why?
Yeah. No, it has. But now after that round, what do they do next time?
Well, FaZe going right back to it. Right towards this A side. They're going to have Scraps playing on an island up in that garage. And bomb being planted.
TJ may have found an opening to get into back lobby and get this collapse. On the other end, working the whole way around is going to be Scraps as well.
Watching it from the connector. He's going to find a couple of players. We get his point of view. Just gets those shots in, sets up the crossfire, makes it a 3 versus 3. But once again, you're in a position where you've given up bomb site, right? So you have to get eyes on the defuse. Celium flies on in, but he gets naded 1 versus 2. And they get taken down. Another clutch in the retake for Optic Gaming. And it's just due to the way they're bullying their way through the site. They force Optic, or they force FaZe off of it. They force them in a situation where they have to check the bomb. They're just not able to do so. That's 3 rounds in a row now for Optic.
1 away from taking the series.
And I like what you saw from FaZe and Scraps because they're trying to trap those players. inside a connector. The problem is the push just came from the flank in the front, right? So he only has angle on 1 or 2 guys, but his teammates go down. Then the only safe place for them to leave is through the connector, right? Where they're trying to set up that pinch.
That's a big frag grenade from Karma as well.
Yep.
To get them in that 2v1. Celium is having a performance, man. He's 13 and 7. Really balanced on the Optic side, but it has been all Celium for Faze.
Here's that same push that we saw from Optic last offensive round.
So you think, is Faze going to be ready for this? They spot TJ bottom bar before he can get a pick, which is huge. So they know his position. You can see Scrap shouldering it. Both hit each other for like 20 HP. But now as they relay across mid, they'll get the bomb planted.
Celium has Tempest. He's going all the way around, though. Not able to win the gunfight. It's TJ. Finds the first blood. Dashy follows it up. 3 versus 4. 25 seconds to work with for Faze.
Zero, he's out in the water, kind of in no man's land. Zuma wins a nice one-on-one, but it's going to be a 2 versus 3. Zuma lines up a second. There's one close to him, just goes prone, tries to get the heal up. He's able to do just that. The collapse, though, comes in. TJ and Karma get it done. And the game 5 goes to Optic Gaming.
And because TJ wins that one-on-one against Celium, that opens up top hall for TJ, where he can pinch it later in the round and get eyes on the bomb. That round is to set up TJ, and on that pinch, beautifully done by Optic, and well, they win 4 rounds in a row just off some beautiful adjustments offensively and defensively.
I think that was one hell of a series. I think there's things to like if you're a fan really of either side. Optic obviously able to close out the series. I think for FaZe Clan, you're seeing certainly some improvements as they push Optic Gaming the distance. But what's the ceiling for this FaZe side? I mean, how good can they get, man?
I mean, the way they won respawns, it was behind like a couple of individual plays.
Scraps going nuts.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it's there. Like, we know the talent's there. I still want to see more out of them in Search and Destroy. That's just what it comes down to. That's really been the story of, like, champions this year, really. I mean, just winning one in a series will get you there. Respawns look good, but we'll see. But for Optic, I mean, to win 2 searches in a respawn, I think that's a good sign from them.
Well, Karma, he had one hell of a series. Hell, he went 12-0 in the game 2. We've got him on stage for your PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thank you, Clint. I first wanted to ask about S&D. That's something you touched on before, saying we think we have all the problems ironed out, and indeed it looks that way. What adjustments did you make to get S&D where it needs to be?
Well, I think just all the reps, you know, with Pro League and then London and then here. We know what we're doing, kind of. Like, well, that map, for example, we don't really play it a whole lot, but when we played it online, we've done really well. So we're trying to, like, kind of work that into the rotation. We knew they were good at that map, and they were going to pick it. But yeah, just overall, we're playing well together for the most part, and we have an idea of what we're doing now in Search.
Speaking of that last map, when your backs are against the wall like that, you're here on a game 5, what does that kind of pressure, how does that affect you in game?
It didn't really affect us at all, but it really just, like, we went down because like I said, they're pretty good at Hacienda Search, so it just made us like really like have to decide, and like we're like, okay, someone make a call, let's figure out what we're doing, and that's what we started doing, and obviously they played well, but you know, we stuck through it and came out on top.
I know you had mentioned trying out some things that you maybe hadn't done before, but what else do you think, why do you think there was such a difference when you faced FaZe here versus facing them in London? We got the 3-0 in London, and then you extended all the way to game 5 here. What was the main difference?
I'd say the biggest thing between that series to this one was the seaside at the end. We probably should have closed it out on the second hill, but after we killed all of them, we sat in the hill rather than push it out, so they were able to come back and contest, and that's all they needed to do. And then Arsenal control was kind of the same deal. On our defense, we'd kill them all, and then we wouldn't push and get map control. And then they 3-hit lobby, but we didn't have anybody pushed up, and then they shot them in the back, and it was just well played by them, but we did make some mistakes in the first and third map.
All right, well, thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Back to Katie at the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess. And we do have Optic Gaming's coach Teep joining us.